The 11th of September 2017 03H20 copyright up file by Tom Williams. The Champions League has always been the competition in which Jose Mourinho has defined himself. Manchester United Kingdom AFP. He has twice stunned Old Trafford into silence on Champions League nights, but as Manchester United make their competition return, Jose Mourinho's obligation is to make the old stadium roar. In 2004 his Porto side sensationally eliminated United in the Champions League last 16, and in 2013 he returned with Real Madrid to bring the curtain down on Alex Ferguson's European exploits in the Old Trafford dugout. The Champions League has always been the competition in which Mourinho has defined himself, and he has already been talking up his chances of surpassing Ferguson's record as the competition's most experienced manager. "I know that I am in the top 5 or 6. I'm quite far, especially from the top 1, but I will fight hard to go for that record," said Mourinho, who has overseen 133 Champions League games to Ferguson's 194. Last season one lost a season in the chase for this record as United won the Europa League, but Manchester United is where Manchester United has to be, and I'm really happy with that. The Champions League night is a unique experience for everyone. I have some players without that great experience. I think it will be fabulous for them and the fans to be back in the Champions League, and to have the initial 3 matches to be played at Old Trafford, I think is fantastic. The Old Trafford crowd's first encounter with their current manager in March 2004 exposed them to the full force of Mourinho, the provocateur. He raced down the touchline, coattails flapping behind him, when Koscielny's late goal took Porto through at United's expense, before witheringly proclaiming that Ferguson's side should be doing a lot better. 9 years later, the Mourinho who took his seat in the dugout was an altogether more conciliatory figure. He later claimed he already knew about Ferguson's impending retirement at that point, and his unusually diplomatic comments before and after the game suggested a desire to ingratiate himself with United's fans and board. "Score to settle, the best team lost," Mourinho said after a 21 win for Real Madrid in the last 16 that hinged on a contentious red card shown to United winger Nani for catching Álvaro Arbeloa with a high boot. But rather than Mourinho leading United into the next campaign, it was the hapless David Moyes who managed to steer the club to the Champions League quarter-finals even as the wheels fell off domestically. United's toils under Moyes and then Louis van Gaal mean Old Trafford has not staged a Champions League knockout game since April 2014. They rediscovered the winning feeling in Europe under Mourinho last season by triumphing in the Europa League, but it is the Champions League where both he and United feel they belong. Mourinho, 54, dreams of becoming only the 3rd manager to win 3 European Cups, after Bob Paisley and Carlo Ancelotti, and the first to do so with 3 different clubs. But his stock in the competition has dipped since his second success with Inter Milan in 2010, the Portuguese having failed to go beyond the semi-finals in his 3 years at Madrid and 2.5-year second stint at Chelsea. Both he and United also have reason to be wary of their first Group A opponents Basel, who visit Old Trafford on Tuesday. 4 years ago, the first Champions League game of Mourinho's second Chelsea tenure culminated in a surprise 21 home defeat by the Swiss club. Chelsea, like United now, were the defending Europa League champions. 2 years previously, United crashed out of the Champions League in the group phase after a 21 defeat at Basel's St. Jacob Park Stadium that was compounded by a gruesome knee injury sustained by captain Nemanja Vidic. With Basel having avoided defeat on their 2 previous visits to Old Trafford in 2003 and 2011, Mourinho already has a score to settle, by Tom Williams, copyright 2017 AFP.